guys, welcome back. Today I'll be showing you how I drafted this elegant pointed waist corset top with sleeve. It's beginner friendly, easy to follow and perfect for adding to your collection. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started. So for this tutorial, I use 1.5 yards of this flower crepe fabric, 1 yard of lining. I also use stay and wadding. This wadding is very light and soft. The wadding is totally optional. So I also use this ready-made bra cup. It's a push-up bra cup. And I also used a Regini boning and plastic boning, your zipper and the elastic. So that is everything that I used to make this top. So let's move to the drafting of the pattern. So I'm going to start by roll out a straight line, which is going to serve as my starting point and also the shoulder line. So from the shoulder line, I'm going to come down by 10.5 inches, which is the distance between the shoulder to the bust point, 13.5 inches for the under bust line, 16 inches for the waistline, and 20 inches for the length of the top. So after I'm done marking out the points, I'm going to roll it out. So after I'm done roll out the line, I'm going to label the pattern, the bust line, on the bust line, waistline, and also the top length. After that, I'm going to come up on the shoulder line and divide my shoulder measurement by 2. My shoulder is 15 divided by 2, which is 7.5 inches. So from that 7.5 inches, I'm going to come down by 1 inches for the shoulder slope. And then from 1 inch that I come down for the shoulder slope, I'm going to mark the length of the armhole, which is 7.5 inches. So to calculate your armhole length, you need to divide your bust circumferences by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Mine is 7.5 inches after I'm done calculating it, which is what I mark for the length of the armhole. So after I'm not connecting it to the shoulder slope, I'm going to use it to roll out a vertical line, which I'm going to label it the chest line. So on the shoulder line, I'm going to come in by 3.5 inches for the basic neck width and then connecting it to the shoulder slope. So after I'm done with that, I'm going to come down on the chest line and divide my bust circumferences by 4. My bust is 36 divided by 4, which is 9 inches. So I'm going to add extra 1.5 inches for the stitches allowance. After that, I'm going to find the midpoint on the armhole line and they come in by 0.75. So after I'm done marking it, I'm going to connect the 3 points together by using my master ruler to cuff out the armhole cuff. So after I'm done cutting out the armhole cuff, the next thing I'm going to do now is to mark in my bust band, which means your nipple to nipple, distance between your nipple to nipple. Mine is 7 inches divided by 2, which is 3.5 inches. So I'm going to mark it on the waistline, on the bust line, chest line, and taking it down to the top line before I connect it together. So I'm doing this to get a straight line. So after I'm done connecting it together, I'm going to take in my waist dart, which I'll be using 1.5 inches. So I'm going to divide it equally on both sides of the line, which is 0.75 on each side. So after that, I'm also going to take it down to the top line and also mark 0.75 on each side of the line. After that, from the bust points, I'm going to come down by 1 inches before I connect the points together. So guys, after I'm done marking out my waist dart, the next thing I'm doing now is to take in my waist measurement. My waist is 32 divided by 4, which is 8 inches plus 1.5 inches for the dart and extra 1.5 inches for the stitches allowance. I'm going to mark it on the waistline and take the measurement down to the top line and also mark it 8 inches plus 1.5 inches for the dart and 1.5 inches for the stitches allowance. After that, I'm going to roll out my side line by connecting the points together. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to tighten my underbust line. So to do that, I always take in my round underbust circumferences. Mine is 29 divided by 4, which is 7.25. So after I'm done marking it, I'm going to measure what remains, which is 2 inches. So it's that 2 inches I'm going to use to tighten my underbust, which I'm going to divide it equally on both sides of the line, which is 1 inch on each side. So after I'm done marking it, I'm going to connect it to the waist. After I'm done with that, I'm going to go up on the shoulder line and measure what I have there, which is 4 inches. So I'm going to find the midpoint, which is 2. So after I'm done marking it, I'm going to connect it to the chest line. So after that, I'm going to mark in my neck depth, which I will use 7 inches. You can also use 6 inches if you think mine is too low. So after I'm done marking it, I'm going to roll out a straight line to the side. After that, I'm going to tighten the neckline. So to tighten it, I'll be using 1.5 inches. So I'm going to divide it equally on both sides of the line, which is 0.75 on each side. So after that, I'm going to connect it to the bust point like you see me doing. So after I'm not connecting it to the neckline, I'm also going to connect the underbust tightening to the 1 inch that comes up from the bust point. So guys, after I'm done with that, next thing to do now is to mark the style line that's going to be at the end of the top. So to do that, I'm going to close the waist dart. So guys, after I'm not closing out the waist dart, I'm going to place my cuff ruler at the top line here from the center front and then use it to connect it to the waistline. You can see the way I place my cuff ruler that I didn't connect it together using a straight line. So that's the reason why I use a cuff ruler to give me that cuff shape that is going to be at the end of the top. So before I start cutting out the pattern, I need to measure what I have here because we still need it when we are drafting out the sleeve pattern. So guys, that is it for the front pattern. Let's cut it out. So guys, after I'm done cutting out the pattern, this is what it's going to look like. So let's move to the back pattern. So for the back pattern, I went ahead, I roll out a straight line at the top of the paper, which is going to serve as the shoulder line. So from the side there, I come in by 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance. So from the shoulder line, I'm going to come down by 10.5 inches for the bust line, 16 inches for the waistline. So the back length is going to stop at the waistline. Don't forget that when you are drawing out the style line for the front hem line, we connected it to the waistline. So the back is going to stop at the waist because of the style we are working with. So the difference between the front length and the back length is 4 inches, even though it's going to be equal at the side. So guys, after I'm done roll out the line and labeled it, I'm going to go up on the shoulder line and mark half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5. So from there, I'm going to come down by 1 inches for the shoulder slope and 7.5 inches for the armhole length, like what we did for the front pattern. So after that, I'm going to connect it to the shoulder slope and I'm also going to roll out a vertical line, which I'm going to label it the chest line. So for the back neck width, we use 3.5 inches for the front. We're also going to do the same thing to the back. So after I'm done marking it, I'm also going to connect it to the shoulder slope. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to mark in my bust measurement. So my bust is 30 divided by 4, which is 9 plus 1.5 inches for the stitches allowance. After that, I'm going to find the midpoint on the armhole line and come in by 0.5. So after that, I'm going to use my master ruler to connect the 3 points together by curving out the armhole curve. So guys, after I'm done with that, I'm going to go down on the waistline from the center back and come in by 3.5 inches. So I'm going to mark in on the waistline, on the bust line and also on the chest line. So after I'm done marking it, I'm going to connect it together and then take in my waist dart. So I'll be using 1.5 inches for the waist dart. I'm just going to divide it equally on both sides of the line, which is going to be 0.75 on each side, and connect it to nothing on the chest line. So after I'm done with that, I'm going to mark in my waist measurements. My waist is 32 divided by 4, which is 8 inches plus 1.5 inches for the dart and another 1.5 inches for the stitches allowance. So after that, I'm going to connect it to the chest line on the side. So after I'm done with that, the next thing I'm doing now is to mark in the back neck depth. I'm using 7 inches like what we did for the front neck depth. So you can decide to like increase your own or reduce it depending on how deep you wanted your necklines to be. After that, I'm going to roll it out to the armhole and also connect the straight line from the waistline to the neckline. After that, on the waistline head at the center back, I'm going to go up by 0.75 for the zipper bulge. So before I connect it to the waist, I'm going to close out the waist dart here. So after I'm done closing
I
it,
will now connect it to the waist.
and the reason why I close the waist dart before I roll out the line is because to avoid shortage of fabric. If you don't close out the waist dart before you roll out the line, when you join the pieces together, you will notice that one is going to longer than the other. So to avoid shortage of fabric, you need to do that. After I'm done with that, on the center back here, I'm going to come in by half an inch and then blend it to the chest line. Look at the way I blend it to the chest line. So to take it out, I'm going to mark it on the zipper allowance and also blend it to the chest line. Like what we did for the front pattern, I'm also going to do the same thing to the back pattern. I'm going to measure what I have from the shoulder slope to the neckline and take note which I have 6 inches, the same thing with the front. So guys, we're also done drafting out the back pattern. Let's cut it out. So for the back pattern, you can decide to hold the dart or make it into a panel. And don't forget to label your pattern. So guys, that is it for the back pattern. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to draft out the sleeve pattern. So at the top of the paper, I'm going to roll out a straight line which is going to serve as my starting line. Remember when we are drafting the bodice, I told you guys to take notes of the measurement that we have from the shoulder slope to the neck tips, which is 6 inches. We have 6 inches for the front, we also have 6 inches for the back. So if I plus both together, it's going to give me 12 inches. Those are 12 inches, I'm going to divide it into 2, which is going to give me 6 inches. So yours might not be 6 inches like mine. So whatever you have for the front and the back, you need to calculate it together and divided it by 2. So I'm going to add extra 1 inches for the elastic, making it 7 inches that I mark. After that, I'm also going to take in the measurement from the sleeve edge to the elbow, which I have 11 inches. So after I'm done marking it, I'm going to roll out a straight line there and label it the elbow length. So after that, I'm going to take in my side front pattern. I'm going to place it exactly where my 7 inches reach at the sleeve edge, and then use my pencil to trace out the armor curve there. So after that, I'm going to use my marker to make it more visible. So after I'm done with that, I'm going to come down at the elbow line and marking the elbow circumferences. Mine is 12 inches divided by 2, which is 6 inches, plus 1.5 inches for the stitches allowance. After that, I'm also going to come down here and mark in my long sleeve circumferences, which is 8 inches divided by 2, which is 4, plus 1.5 inches for the stitches allowance. So after I'm done marking it, I'm going to connect it to the elbow line and also to the sleeve cuff. So guys, we are done drafting out the sleeve. What remains now is to cut it out. And that is it for today's tutorial. I hope you guys found this video helpful and learned something new. If you're enjoying it, don't forget to like, leave a comment and subscribe for more fashion design and pattern drafting tutorial like this. In my next video, I'm going to share with you guys how I join the pieces together, how to fix the sleeve to the body. And also don't forget to ring a notification bell so whenever I post a new video, you'll be notified. See you guys in my next one. Bye.